Hey guys, Wolfie here and welcome back to the channel. As always, the usual disclaimer, any opinion here is mine and mine alone. Now you guys are probably wondering, why am I showing off two seemingly blank skateboard decks and a can of what appears to be spray paint? Now, for those of you who may remember, I did hint at this earlier this year regarding this particular project. It is a DIY, so this is going to be like the very first. This video will only be just the first step in the mix, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to be doing. So and it's just the side you're going to be seeing in which I'm going to do the spray paint job. Now, this side right here, where you see the painter's tape. Now, at the timing of this particular recording, I'm waiting for a pair of like grip tapes, and the grip tapes are going to go on this side where the painter's tape you see here is, because I'm going to be spray painting the sides here. And I'm going to do my absolute best, and I'm just going to show you one of them to show. I'm going to try to replicate the logo here in like weird spray paint colors, all that stuff. And then once that's all said and done, I'm going to be doing a clear coat on top of all that, so that way everything pops like the way it's supposed to be. Now, this particular can of spray paint, and I'm going to say this it's not going to be a very long video at all. Now, what I have in my hands here is a primer coat. Now, some people may go with like white in sense of primer and paint, but this is going to be just primer. So one of the reasons it's good to have like something like this for just a primer is just to make the colors pop. In sense of, you do the white, the primer coat first, and then the color of your choice on top of it to make sure everything pops a little bit better, so you get to see the color a little bit better. So like I said, I'm just going to be doing just like this side right here, the side that you're seeing, and like I said, the other side of one of the boards, I'll show it real quick once again. Now, I have here the painter's like tape on those holes, and the reason why I have it like that is that, let's just say I screw up something here, I overdo it, that way the holes like on the other side don't get the white spray paint on accident. Now, the things you guys might want to know regarding spray paint laws here in Chicago is that it's a little bit more difficult to get spray paint here. You're kind of wondering, how is it difficult to get spray paint in Chicago, Wolfie? And the answer is quite simple. And by simple, there has been an ordinance in place since the early 1990s. It was something that, as the age that I am now, I absolutely had no, in the sense of like a say, if that makes any sense. There has been an ordinance in Chicago in place since the early 1990s, something I had zero say in it because I was a kid in that time frame, where they did some bizarre ban on spray paint sales here in Chicago. So those who are in the Chicago like city limits proper, the way you had to go get spray paint to this day is that you had to do some format of ordering online. You had to have it sent to your house or Amazon locker, and you have to very much show that you have no ill will when you're using the spray paint, because some people here in Chicago, and since like the people behind that ordinance, they associate spray paint with crime and vandalism. So it's a bit of a historical thing that is worth noting. So for me, it's like, if I were to have to go get some spray paint, I would have to order it online, and most likely I would have to get it sent to a business, because within city limits, it's just something I simply cannot do, even though I'm more than old enough to get spray paint. And the whole thing with the age aspect I hinted at, you have to be at least 18 to get it. So it's just a bit of a historical FYI. So it's like, it's not as easy as people think it is. It's like if you're in the suburbs of Chicago or outside of Illinois altogether, it's a lot easier, in my personal opinion, as far as I know. So with that, I'm just going to do like a singular coat of the primer for both boards, because that way I could give it some time to dry and I can resume this the next day. But again, this is just a primer right here. Like I said, it's a good idea to have a primer coat in first, so that way, once you get the other colors you want on there afterwards, it's a lot easier. And the way I'm going to be tackling what I'm going to be tackling, if I grab one of these, is that I'm going to have to do like a little bit of like a tracing and paint job hybrid style. So it's like I actually have to do the outline of the lettering and then like really go into it to get it as close to something like this as possible. I mean, it's not really easy for me to do, but this is like if I have some type of reference, I might be able to pull it off. Well, so it's a bit of a wait and see, that sort of thing. So without, that looks gross. So with that, further delay, so gotta shake up the spray paint really good. So that way I could get to spray painting. Now, regarding like, the direction of spray painting is entirely up to you, but you just gotta make sure it's consistent. And then another thing here, before I go further, is that you want to have like some type of cardboard or something to make sure that the spray paint lands on the cardboard and not on what not the thing that it's covering. There we go. Now, I want to mention here that it's going to be a couple of coats at least of the primer, because that way it's covering the entire deck, and by that, the side that you're seeing me do it. Now, when it comes to like varying types of paints, acrylic is often go-to because it tends to dry the quickest. Yes, that is Sandy the Tabby. He wants to be let out. Now, one last thing before I continue spray painting is that Amazon does, in fact, sell spray paint. In case you guys didn't already know. Okay. Okay, so as you can see there, regarding this particular can of spray paint, I am nearly out completely, which is a good thing if you're doing more than one skateboard deck like I am. But like I said, this is going to be, the only thing I'm going to be really doing with this tonight is just make sure that primer is on there, so that way I can work on like the lettering, making sure that's okay, and then I have to do a really unique job, if that makes any sense, with the painter's tape, that way I could like do it like that, if that makes any sense. So with that, I am done with this video. So with Wolvie here signing off, I will catch you all on the flip side.